waiting and praying that the thing you experience, which is you are now born again, every part of the creation will also want to experience that thing you experienced. Am I talking to someone? Am I talking to someone? Now, I love how Isaiah 55 verse 11 to 13 said, so will my word be which goes forth from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, without accomplishing what I desire, and without succeeding in the matter for which I sent it. For you will go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth into shouts of joy before you, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. Listen, this is creation. The trees are clapping their hands. I said to you earlier, the whole creation is on tiptoe like this. When will our redemption come? When will our redemption? The mountains, the rivers, the oceans, everything that God created. When man fell, the Bible says all have sinned and fallen short. Everything fell, including the gift of sex. Am I talking to someone? Am I talking to someone? So everything, including sex, is on tiptoe like this, longing. The thing you have experienced through the new birth, I also want to experience it. Sex did not start with Hollywood. Sex did not start with Nollywood or Bollywood. Sex started in the Bible. God created man and woman. Genesis chapter 2 put them together. The Bible says Adam knew his wife. The first time it happened between a husband and a wife, not a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Not two people who are trying to see whether the thing is tasting well. No. It says it will not without accomplishing what I desire, without succeeding in the matter of. So sex will not return to God without accomplishing what God desires. All this abuse that have come to sex is a gift of God. Sex is not something, it's not a taboo, it's not negative. It is a gift that God gave to humanity. So the original intention of God is what has been abused. So even sex is now crying out for redemption. Who will save me? The way they are using me now in pornography, that is not God's original intention. The way they are using me now to defile children, that is not God's original intention. Am I talking to someone? The way they are using me now to take advantage of young girls in the university, the way they are using me now to take advantage of people they have authority over, is not my intention. Who will come and deliver me? Who will save me? That's what I mean by redeeming your sexuality. Your sexuality is crying out. I don't want to be subjected to the frustration, the empty futility resulting from the consequences of human sin. That's what I mean. I'm crying out for freedom. I'm crying out to be delivered from slavery. I'm crying out to be delivered from decay. Sex is also crying out. And if those of us who are Christians understand what I'm saying, that sex, just like any other gift of God, just like the trees are crying out, the mountains are crying out. Listen, originally, Adam and Eve were living in the garden with lion. Lion didn't bite them. Lion didn't swallow them. There were snakes there too. None of them. So in their original state, they were perfect. The moment man fell, ocean started swim. People go there and they will drown. People swim and they will drown. Trees will fall. Everything started revolting against man. Sex is saying, I don't want to be used like this. Who are the people who will position with God and return me back to God's original mandate? Sex is a gift. Okay. So what does sexuality need? Why does sexuality need redeeming? Or why should we be concerned about redeeming sexuality? We should be concerned for several reasons. Number one, sexuality has lost its way. We need to get back to God's godly sanctified sexuality. That was what I was saying. We have it. The thing is being used for now is no more what it was created for. This microphone is used for talking. It's not used for baiting. By the time I subject it to baiting, it's now abuse. Within the context of marriage, not context of boyfriend and girlfriend, or context of people who are making out, or we're doing parties, say let's have orgies. That's not what it's meant for. Number two, modern sexuality is including, that is, modern sexuality is now distorted and has lost its original intent. Many Christians have been significantly influenced by the Babylonian standards and values. Many of us go to church, it's true. But your sexual influences have come from Hollywood, the media culture. I don't want to call it Hollywood, the media culture. So there is something that says everybody is having sex. That if you're not having sex, something is wrong with you. Now, it's a gift that you're given. If I give you this microphone as a gift, you use it to bait. You put it inside water, use it to bait. It's called abuse. That's why sexuality needs redemption. What does sexuality need redemption? Male sexuality has been distorted by the influence of the media culture. Now, sex drive is very, very powerful and very forceful. We need a healthier personal life. We need a healthy personal life. You need your inner being, the inner part of you to be healed. The unmet need to be met. You need the wounds inside you to be taken care of. So, you can see that now, the media, there seems to be pornography everywhere. Modern sexuality is dangerous to women and children. Children have been the target of sexuality expression. We are no better than the quality. Everybody is trying things on children. I was told about a man that they left a baby of less than 6 months with the man. The man started sleeping with the 3-month-old baby. We're into child protection. Our child protection officers are there. They can tell you stories. One day there was one we ran to. Somewhere, I won't mention the name of the place. The laborer who came to work in this shop, in this place, started taking advantage, sleeping with this 5-year-old child. What kind of pleasure will you derive from it? Sexuality needs redeeming. Distorted sexuality is still the greatest cause of an abnormal gender gap. Men and women are far away from each other in this area of sexuality. Men have been influenced by the culture of so you watch. Let's go. Everything is there. The sexual revolution has taken out of the context of marriage, has been taken out of the context of marriage. And what does this mean for the future of our children? Tomorrow I'll be looking at Songs of Solomon to see the guidelines, to see whether you are free to touch anybody. So we came for choir practice. Well, all of us now sleep in church. From choir practice, we now begin to touch everybody. We came for something where everywhere is dark. We begin to touch everybody. Is that what we came for? Is your hand made for touching things? When I was dating my husband said to me, I can't trust this my hand. If you stay with me alone, if only me and you are staying in the room, I can't trust that my hand will not move mistakenly. For it not to move mistakenly, please, let there be always someone here until I pay bride price. Because if you leave me, I will touch. Listen to me, everybody has a price. You can't say, I'm full of the. I'm not doubting that you are full of the Holy Ghost. But what I'm saying, it is always good to hold breaks. The Bible said, don't awaken love before it's ready. I'll be telling you that this tomorrow. I don't want to go into tomorrow's message. Don't awaken love before it's time. And when they paid the woman's price in Songs of Solomon, he now said, arise, awake the north wind, then awake the south wind. When we have done the right, listen, the force that comes with sex is like the north wind. That's why, listen, if this thing stands, it takes the Holy Ghost for it to unstand. You can't speak in tongues. It's better to avoid it. Bring sex. Sex is crying out. Bring it back where it belongs. It's within the context of marriage. These are challenges. Why does sex need redeeming? Modern sexuality deals with ideas have infiltrated the church culture. What God created to be a beautiful thing has become distorted into an ugly thing. If God created sex, the way we are using it now, is it the way He created it? The thing has so infiltrated our church culture that we now say, there is a level you reach in, you are in the realm of God's things. If you now commit fornication, it's no more fornication. It is now worship of the highest order. A young girl said to me that her leader said to her that the level he has reached in God, that if I sleep with you, it's not fornication. Because of the special arrangement I have with God. I don't know about that special arrangement. I know 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, he said, abstain. He said, this is the will of God. Avoid sexual immorality. You can't make the Bible say what it has not said. Sex has infiltrated our churches that now it is normal to be pregnant before marriage. He said, until the girl is pregnant, I won't pay a bride price. It has become so infiltrated that even old women in church will be asking the girl, my mama, my pikin not gonna marry you except you get belly. Your mother-in-law to be, I didn't say one of the mother-in-law to be, and sister-in-laws to be, would even be the one saying, we won't pay bride price until you have, which culture, where did we learn it from? Even when you go back to African culture, where we're coming from in Africa, was that how we're living? Sex, I say sex is crying for deliverance. If sex is a human being, the deliverance you do on him, the demons that will live, because many of us have subjected sex to many things. But God will redeem your own sexuality. Let's look at the distorting influences of sex. Video shops. What are the things that distort, that bring these bad influences? There is a video shop sometimes, I say, let me go and buy comedy to watch. When you go there, there is a section like this on different kinds of, you will see it. You don't need to, when you enter, you see from the package that these videos here, when I was younger, you don't keep pornography any. If you go to a video shop, people who go to a video shop, they hide. They sneak in there. The person who is hiring or selling will hide it somewhere. Will go there and pull it out. Now, it's everywhere. Don't go too far. The banners, people who do nightclubs, who do wakombo dance, whatever dance they are doing, you can see that they will put a naked woman and put it on the banner to use to advertise you. Whether you, some of us, just by looking at that picture, you are already in cloud 250 is to wake you up. I'm telling you, Alex, it's almost looking as if we're saying it is also okay to have sex. That if we are standing here now, after all, it's singles or married people's meeting. You can just touch a sister, two of you will go home, it's touch and follow. Something is saying, something is practically telling us it is okay to have sex anyhow. Sex now don't turn to cola that they share at marriage. That's an influence. Video shops. Look at children's programs, cartoon. Before you can watch cartoon, I said when I was younger, there was a movie we used to watch, series, television series, Masquerade, Zebediah, no sex thing. The Bill Cosby show, no sex. But this particular thing, even when they want to dance, they dance down, they put stew. They put the stew, say the thing is stew. It said, put it something else. What is the difference stew and sex? Do they look alike? Do they carry stew inside where woman and woman is sleeping on the bed to mukindosh? Do they use sex? Do they put stew? He said, I'm hearing his laughter. Everything is sex. Everything. These are distorting influences, and I want you to watch it so you can redeem your own, so that you can take your eyes off. And then even professional research circles lately, where people go to learn, is now where people go to have sexual abuse. Where people go to do researches. The thing is everywhere. You have a right. And that right is you must redeem your own. Let's look at the contributing factors to distorted sexuality. Number one, the age of puberty is continuing to drop. My daughter started menstruating earlier than I was. The day she told me that she had seen her menses, I was, at what age? My son came to puberty earlier than the father. Before 17 to 18, or just when you're about to get married, that's before. These are some of the distorting factors. These are the things that is contributing factors to distorted sexuality, that is making sexuality not to be healthy. What are the distorting factors? The age of puberty is dropping. Younger children are having sex and becoming capable of childbirth. Sociologists are saying that adolescence does not end with 18 anymore. It is now up to 28. The age of masturbation, this is supposed to be maturity, is continuing to drop. The age of exposure to pornography continues to drop. Look at what I said here. The time has increased between when a person is ready for sex and when he or she is able to legitimately have sex. According to Bible standards, I will explain. These modern trends allow time for sexual distortion to leak in. Young people are no longer starting family life on time. What is contributing to the distortion? Listen, once you hit puberty, your body is asking for some things. The age before now, what I was discussing with Pastor Mercy's birth mom, and what we are discussing, I discovered that she's not really much older than me. But her first child, so she got married on time. Most of our mothers got married on time. So the time they hit puberty to the time when they can legitimately have sex at their own time is shorter. Our own time, we hit puberty at 12. You marry at 26. I'm not condemning. I want you to see some of the distorting factors. How many years in between? Between the time